Chairman Stile, Ranking Member Morelli, and members of the committee. My name is Caitlin Sutherland. I'm the founding executive director of Americans for Public Trust, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to restoring trust in government by holding politicians and political groups accountable. Since our inception, APT has devoted extensive resources to uncovering and publicizing outside money and influence in politics and policy, including tracing foreign dark money. I thank you for the invitation and opportunity to again join you to discuss the important topic of foreign interference in U.S. elections. The majority of Americans agree that foreign nationals should be prohibited from influencing our elections. In fact, that has been federal law for 40 years. But unfortunately, federal law is inadequate when defining what foreign nationals can and cannot do. Essentially, foreign nationals are only prohibited from contributing to a candidate, committee, or super PAC, or participating in a campaign's decision-making process. This means foreign nationals can largely still influence a whole host of other election-related vehicles with zero repercussions. It is currently legal for foreign nationals to pay for get-out-the-vote operations, voter registration, issue advocacy, voter education, ballot harvesting, door knocking, like how the UK's Labour Party actively recruited British nationals to knock on doors to support Kamala Harris, and state and local ballot issue campaigns. Congress should act to close all these foreign influence loopholes. The issue of foreign nationals influencing our elections is not a hypothetical one, but a real and ongoing threat made easier when organizations like Act Blue have failed to put basic protections in place. As I've testified before, a significant source of foreign cash is flowing into our politics from Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss, who is not a US citizen, but whose goal is to, quote, reinterpret the American Constitution in the light of progressive politics, end quote. According to the New York Times, Mr. Wyss's, quote, political activism is channeled through a daisy chain of opaque organizations that mask the ultimate recipients of his money, end quote. But through a detailed accounting of publicly available records, APT has been able to trace that at least $250 million of this foreign money has been funneled through the Arabella Advisors managed 1630 Fund. 1630 Fund, the, quote, indisputable heavyweight of Democratic dark money, end quote, according to The Atlantic, receives this foreign money and then turns around and bankrolls political battles all across the country. How much? Well, in the absence of laws restricting foreign nationals from contributing to ballot issue campaigns, 1630 Fund has poured $130 million into ballot issue campaigns in 25 states. Ballot issues, while an important democratic tool, are also used to drive voter turnout to influence candidate races and often push the most extreme version of policies that would not withstand the legislative process. During the 2024 election cycle, 1630 Fund spent over $37 million in foreign-backed cash targeting ballot issues in Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, and Ohio. 1630 Fund also heavily invests in super PACs, with their total giving approaching $90 million over the last 4 cycles. During this year's elections, their millions went towards financing competitive U.S. House races in Nebraska, Iowa, Montana, and Wisconsin, supporting a so-called independent U.S. Senate candidate in Nebraska, as well as propping up a libertarian presidential candidate to act as a spoiler to Donald Trump. Mr. Wyss's foreign money has also been allocated to groups like Indivisible, known for disrupting congressional town halls, to Eric Holder's National Redistricting Action Fund, which works to skew congressional maps to favor Democrats, to Climate Power, which ran television ads backing Biden's Build Back Better agenda and is now seeking to torpedo the nomination of Governor Doug Burgum for Interior Secretary, and even to fake news outlets like States Newsrooms, which operates under local-sounding papers in your state like Wisconsin Examiner, Florida Phoenix, Oklahoma Voice, and Ohio Capitol Journal. Any vehicle that broadly influences the electoral process, from door knocking to ballot issues, should not be paid for by foreign dollars. These are simple, common sense loopholes to close, and I think we can all agree foreign billionaires, the UK's Labour Party, and CCP officials should stay out of our politics. I look forward to discussing ways to prevent foreign influence in our elections. Thank you.